Well. Another episode of Monday Night Paw. It shot me to the core, and I am sure that someone who made this must be a whore. This is terrible TV. 2 hours and 33 minutes and 28 seconds of absolute abhorrent booking. Now spare me another few minutes to break this down because this was absolutely shocking. It was rubbish, and let's get through this review. This show kicks off how it always kicks off. No big pyro, no match to start the show. It's obviously just like every other Monday Night Raw of 2025 kicked off with a promo. In-ring promo from Seth freaking, I am a revolutionary. I am a visionary. That guy who you've toned down your suits, you kept the same music, you keep coming out with J&J security and B&B security and AOP and DOP. How many security guards do you need? These are not. I thought you made this faction to, I don't know, to uplift and level up these people, but they've taken a step back. Bron Breakker was an Intercontinental Champion before you. Bronson Reed was doing his best work in the Bloodline before you. And Paul Heyman was Paul Heyman before you, and now he hugs a briefcase and doesn't speak. Do I need to get into what Seth said in his promo? Probably not. He trolled the crowd. He said the crowd's giving him mixed signals. Listen, Seth, the crowd is not a Tinder date. They're not here to give you signals. You're getting mixed signals from the crowd talking about why are you cheering me 1 second and then chanting for CM Punk and then chanting for the OTC? It's because you command that week after week with your I am a revolutionary. I am a visionary. Sing my song. They're singing the song because you're telling them to sing the song, and usually I would disagree with the live audience. I don't like how the current live audience is. Not that they've done anything wrong, but they sing to everything. They boo everything. Everything is awesome. I don't like it, but I start to sympathize with these people a little bit more. And I start to sympathize even more when I was about to buy my Raw tickets for my hometown in August. And I realized they're very expensive for a regular house show. If you pay $200 to sit in the nosebleeds, you're going to sing what the fuck you want. You're going to yeet here, yeet there, yeet everywhere, and yeet in a hair. We move on from there. And we get the first match of the night, Bronson Reed versus Penta, a match that was booked for no reason, a match that should never have been booked because Penta can't afford to lose. Bron Breakker shouldn't be losing, and guess what? You put them together and Penta lost. He got hit with a super spear, which nearly knocked out Bron Breakker, by the way, head first into the canvas. I told you guys when I made the video with Penta's debut, and I told you guys about Rey Fenix when he was coming in, don't get too excited. Let's wait to see what they do, because we know WWE, they're either going to throw him in with the Mexicans, or he's going to become any other lucha on the card very soon. Now, he's not any other lucha on the card. He's the lit lucha. He's the cool lucha, but he's still just a lucha. And before him, it was Dragon Lee, and there was Rey Fenix. They can't book him properly, and you would argue that Al Americano Grande Cappuccino Latte has been booked better than Penta. It's a goddamn shame, but he is still a smooth operator. Of course he is. Absolute abhorrent behavior. We go, they mention something about Liv Morgan's injuries. We get it. And then we see Adam Pearce and AJ Styles talking in his office. Pearce tells AJ Styles that the Intercontinental Championship match for Night of Champions will be postponed because Dominic Mysterio is injured, which I'd say is cap, is a lie, because if you follow Dom on Twitter, all the talk he was talking about Monday Night Raw, if he was already injured, he wouldn't have been speaking like that. But, as you know, certain country decided to drop certain missiles on another country, defending another country, and now you want these people from this country to go to that country, counterparts, to do a show with missiles and attacks being threatened. I think Dom's scared. I'm with Dom. I wouldn't go either. And that's what happened. I'll tell you the truth, because everyone else doesn't want to tell you the truth. They've replaced some matches on this card for Night of Champions, and the matches they've replaced it with are not championship matches. Meanwhile, Street Profits can't get on the PLE. Zelina Vega has to fight Chelsea Green and the Secret Cervix every week. Anywho, we move on. We get a Goldberg interview. I'm sure you guys are thrilled to know that Goldberg had a sit-down interview. He's about to go into a retirement match at the end of the week. He only returned the previous week. And he couldn't even have a face-to-face in the ring with Gunter. He had to have a sit-down interview with Michael Cole. Yeah, he said he's gonna fuck Gunter up. Ooh, he said the F word. Ooh, we love it. Jade Cargill taking on Roxanne Perez in the semi-finals of the 2025 Queen of the Ring tournament. Now, we saw the brackets early. Jade Cargill was the person I picked to get to the final. It hasn't been smooth sailing for her on the main roster, but they aren't booking her properly. She should only be booked like a powerhouse. She should be booked like the immovable object. She should be booked like people are scared to fight her. Roxanne should be threatened at the fact that she got to the semi-finals and has to take on Jade Cargill. But would you know, even though Jade Cargill won this match, Roxanne Perez was the better wrestler in the... Now, Roxanne Perez, I would argue, is a better wrestler than Jade Cargill anyway. But it's not about being a better wrestler. It's about appearance. That's what it's about. And Jade looks money. She's bigger than everybody. She should be taking on all of the big folk and they should be scared of her too. And Roxanne Perez should have got squashed by her. But realistically, none of that happened. But Jade still won. Jade did. Then she flexed at the end of the match. I don't know why you're flexing for. You beat someone who's 5 foot, who you should have beat. And we get to the top of the ramp. Asuka comes out and does her little dance. And then they stand there next to the Queen of the Ring crown. And nobody cares. Do you care? Nobody cares. We have a Gunter promo in response to Goldberg's promo, and Gunter runs his mouth and he says he's 58 and he's a one-trick pony who can't lace his boots, and you was a powerhouse back in the 1990, but it's 2025 now and nobody cares anymore. And Bill Goldberg forever dies. Well, the myth of Goldberg might forever die, and of course I don't want Goldberg to win, but the fact that he's not had to turn up face to face before his retirement match, which means we've only got to see him one time. The fact that Gunter ran his mouth about Goldberg tonight, but last week he was in your face and you said nothing, tells me, and I don't want to let you guys know, I'm telling you, bruv, he might win. Goldberg might win. And Howell will freeze over. It's a goddamn shame. And then we got Karrion Kross approaching Sami Zayn backstage. And obviously Karrion Kross has been trolling Sami for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Sami snaps. He hits him with a slap punch. A punch slap, a slappity punch, knocks him to the ground. He said, I spoke to Adam Pearce and the upcoming match is official. TikTok. Well, it's funny that you spoke to Adam Pearce about the upcoming match because Karrion Kross didn't approach you then, so you just made the match anyway. But anyway, they're going to be fighting at Crown Jewel, or what? It's not called Crown Jewel, is it? It's called Night of Champions. Okay, it's same shit. They're going to be fighting at Night of Champions, the place where I thought everyone was just going to fight and put their titles on the line. But as I said, Street Profits can't get on the card. Zelina Vega can't get on the card. But yeah, they're fighting there. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. Don't be fooled. They're not pushing Karrion, even though they should. They're not putting him on the card because they love Karrion. They're putting him on the card because, well, it's Saudi Arabia and they need Sami Zayn to represent. That's the truth of the matter. Let's not fool ourselves. Moving on from there. Oh, actually, not moving on from there. In between that, we had the advert before we got to the third match of the night, which was Cody Rhodes and his shit podcast. And who do you think the up-and-coming guest? You wouldn't guess it. Well, I'm telling you, it's none other than Kevin Owens. You know Kevin Owens that he fought at Royal Rumble. You know Kevin Owens who turned on him, beat him up in a car park, trolled him the whole time, took the Winged Eagle, fought him at Royal Rumble. They threw chairs at each other and stairs at each other and chairs and hairs at each other, beat the brakes. I think at one point Kevin Owens was all folded between a ladder. That guy is on his podcast. I wonder how that's going to go. How you doing? How you doing, man? So what do you want to talk about? Well, do you want to talk about how you just mashed me up and, you know, I already had a neck injury and I'm out now and I might never wrestle again and I ended up having 2 of these matches against you and Sammy, which were pretty brutal, but it's fine because, you know, WWE and podcast. Great. Becky Lynch takes on Bayley. She puts her Intercontinental Championship on the line, and as you knew before, we knew last week, we knew this was coming. We knew this wasn't going to finish clean. Lyra gets involved when Becky's trying to get Bayley counted out, even though technically Becky's doing the right thing here. All she done was, you know, she tries to push the table on her and then she puts stuff on top of her outside the ring so she can count it out. And then, would you know, Lyra pops up, tries to throw Bayley into the ring. Then commotion happens, and then she ends up putting her hands on Becky because Becky put her hands on her. Gets disqualification. They're doing that stupid conversation what they always have. Why did you get involved in my match? I was trying to help you, Bayley. Why did you get involved in the match? I was trying to help you, Bayley. Booked triple threat match. for the Intercontinental title. You knew it was coming up, and it's happened, and it is what it is, and nobody cares. We get Chad Gable giving Ivy Nile some encouragement backstage. I don't know what he's encouraging her about. She loses absolutely every match. And as I said earlier, the best thing I've seen from Ivy Nile was a Celtic Warrior workout. She looks the business. She can wrestle. Somebody doesn't like her backstage. Who knows? We get Chad Gable trying to troll Penta after his match. Penta takes him out. And we had Ludwig Kaiser lurking in the background. Or should I say, Lurkwid Kaiser lurking in the background. And, yeah, you took him away from Tiffy's Tiddies to bring him to Raw to lurk in the background when he could have been at home in the bedroom having Tiffy time! Moving on from there, we have Raquel Rodriguez. She calls out Rhea Ripley because why not? Her promo was actually decent, to be fair. She got a bit in Spanish, bit in English. I liked it. It was a decent promo. They need to put a bit more spotlight on her, especially now that Liv Morgan's injured. But we know where this is heading to. She calls her out. They get into a rumble. They get into a Triple H brawl. You know, the Paul Levesque traditional brawl, week in, week out. The only difference is there wasn't no security guards involved. As soon as I saw her go for them Slim Jim table, I knew what was coming up. I knew what was going to get booked. She sets the table up. Rhea Ripley gets the better of her. She's about to give her the riptide through the table. Roxanne Perez comes down for the save, jumps on her back, and then she ends up getting the Tejada bomb through the table. Not Roxanne, Rhea Ripley. And then her, Roxanne, and Raquel embrace each other as in to say, you know what, sis, you got me. Now, wouldn't you know, because we know where this is going. This is half Naomi, Jade, and Bianca, and half Liv and Rhea storyline. It's all revamped, recycled. The same thing is going to happen again. Just to let you guys know that it's going to happen again. Bet any money next week Roxanne Perez ends up being the new tag team partner to Raquel. Liv's going to come back all upset. Blah, 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 blah. Dom's going to end up leaving for Roxanne. Blah, 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 blah. We get it. We get it. See Oscar and Io backstage. They give each other the stare down. This one is for the NPCs in the back. Oh God, it's always been a dream match of mine. You fucking retards, bro. It has never been a dream match. You stop lying, bro. Stop lying. Then we have, it's official, Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross battle. Yes, we already spoke about that. Then we go into the fourth and final match because obviously, you know, we only get 4 matches on everything now. Although Night Champions is shaping up to be more than 4 matches now, they're putting all these matches on, adding them to the card. But I know the real truth is people don't want to have the threat of missiles dropping on them when they're trying to drop a drop kick. Imagine trying to drop a drop kick and someone's trying to drop a missile. Nobody wants that. Now, we move on to the fourth and final match, Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Again, spoke about this early when the tournament started, and as soon as I saw Cody Rhodes in that bracket, I said Cody's going to win. Is this what it is? He's going to get to the, is at least going to get to the final. And wouldn't you know, he beats Jey Uso in this match. Not any Cody, Super Cody, because this Cody took 2 super kicks to the face. He got his crossroads, which is supposed to be the killer move, and he popped straight back up. He gave Jay a cutter off the top rope and then hit him with the crossroads, pinned him, and then obviously you had to shake hands and obviously you had to give him a hug because you guys are friends. And that was the end of Monday Night Raw. 2 hours, 33 minutes and 28 seconds of absolute bollocks. Well done, Paul Levesque. You're the best. Booker of the Year. Yay!